will come, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1. Line drive to the base. Just as the score of the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead it by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series for Reggie Jackson.
The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Back to throw. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them with my faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings, long drive, left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is...
Lolich fires. Ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins. Here's the pitch to Willie. There's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take. I'll tell you what, we're having an earth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
Long drive to left field. Way back. This is goodbye. Home run.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Pena in a chance. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was. And it could be again.
Cast it live.
Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here? You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host, Dan Scott.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's program. I am indeed your host, Dan Scott. Good to have you with us, whether you are watching us here in the upstate, whether you are tuning in from Titusville, Florida, or wherever you may be across this great country of ours or beyond. It is good to have you with us this morning and good to be back. We are still in the doing the show once a week portion of our schedule. That will change in the early part of August, and when we start getting completely and totally ramped up for football season. But we got a good show lined up for you today. Speaking of football, and specifically Furman football, you may have noticed there is a tremendous buzz about this Paladin football team heading in to the 2018 season, largely because of the way the team finished 2017 in the first year of head coach Clay Hendricks after losing its first 4 games, winning 7 in a row and 8 of 9, including a win in the playoffs, and setting the stage for an incredible amount of buzz and hype. Well, you want to come and see this team play. Only 5 home dates, which is not unusual for an FCS school in an 11-game season. Only 5 home dates, so you want to come and see this team and get your tickets. Well, you can get tickets, season tickets, in fact, to see the Paladins play for as little as $65. And Dwight Covington is going to be here at 10:25 to talk about just that, the different options that you have, as well as the excitement level that's been building here, how season ticket sales are going ahead of the opening of the 2018 campaign, and some of the little promotions and other things that we'll have that will make it very much worth your while to come and spend some time with us here at Paladin Stadium. You know, you obviously people want to be part of the trending thing, and there's nothing trending, and let's just call it like it is. There's nothing trending more from a football standpoint in this state, and in many cases across the nation, than Clemson University football right now. And every Saturday, Death Valley is going to be packed to the gills, as it should be. But there are plenty of opportunities, and that leaves plenty of people left over who are looking for a good quality football experience on a Saturday, and maybe you can't afford to go to Clemson. Maybe you don't want to be in a crowd as big as 85,000 or whatever it is they'll put in there on a regular basis. Or maybe you're just looking for something to call your own. Well, I would highly encourage you to listen to what Dwight has to say when he comes on, and to be paying attention to this show over the course of the next, well, really few months, because we're going to be extolling the virtues of Furman football and trying to give you reasons, if you've never been to Paladin Stadium, to come and check out this team, check out this program, and everything that goes into a Furman football Saturday. And quite honestly, again, let's call it what it is. For those of you who used to come to Furman games and perhaps have stopped because of the apathy that kind of sunk into the program here, crept its way into the program, that's changed. The apathy is gone. The sense of immediacy, the sense of urgency is here. Even though Clay Hendricks knows and knew last year that he has a lot of building to do as he took over this program, the bottom line is that he expected to win a year ago. He did. And despite some losses numbers-wise on the offensive side of the football, he expects to win again this year. So the era of apathy where Furman football is concerned is over. And that's from the top down, from the president of the university to the people who sweep out the stands when the games are over and everybody in between. The apathy is over, and there is as I mentioned, a sense of immediacy, a sense of being more aggressive in all aspects of this football program, including the marketing and promotion of it. And I think that if you give Furman football another chance, you're going to sense that things are different maybe than the last time you were here. Dwight Covington's going to be here to talk about all of that during the course of the program today. The other thing that we're going to spend some time on, other than just kind of catching up and giving you some more information on the changes of the show and some of the other things that are happening, I want to spend some time on this little flap that has kind of popped up because of some comments that Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred made concerning the guy who I think the consensus is, without question, is the best all-around player in the game, and that is Mike Trout, where marketing himself and allowing the game to benefit from that marketing is concerned. I want to talk about that a little bit. Manfred is being widely criticized, and to a great extent rightly so, but on the other side of things, we're all kind of guilty of it. And I'll tell you what I mean coming up in just a little bit. The show is brought to you in large part by our friends at the Carolina Creative Group. They are the ones who are helping with the launching, and matter of fact, not helping, they're doing it. I'm just giving them the information that I think belongs there, and they've got this team of experts putting together the new Dan Scott Show website that will be fully active in the first few days of August, and is going to be very interactive. In fact, you'll be able to watch the show live from the website. You'll be able to interact with me through the website, and it's going to be a great resource for you if you say, hey, I want to know something about Major League Baseball. We have a resource page. You'll be able to go click on a link and look what you're looking for. Or I want to know something about one of the other colleges in the state of South Carolina, one of their athletic programs. There's going to be a link on the resource page for you to go find that specific school. So it's going to be kind of a one-stop shop, which is going to be great for advertisers with the whole search engine optimization thing that Carolina Creative Group can do. They're going to be sending a lot of traffic to this site right from the very beginning, which is great for current and future advertisers. There's a lot going on, and it's all because of Randy and the folks at the Carolina Creative Group. You're going to be hearing a lot more about them as the show goes on. You can check out their website for much more information, carolinacreative.co, carolinacreative.co, or you can give him a call, 864-250-2012, 250-2012, and you see their slogan right there on the screen, not just simple, but simply brilliant. And wait until you see what this website's going to look like. You already got a glimpse, if you were paying attention as the lead up to the show was beginning, what the new show logo looks like. There it is on your screen. Very simple but elegant because of its simplicity. I absolutely love it. I hope you do too. And you're going to be seeing a lot more of that as we move forward. In any event, thank the folks at Carolina Creative for what they're doing as far as the website and taking a great step, we hope, from their standpoint. They think it's great. I think it's great in partnering with us here on the Dan Scott Show. We'll take a break and we'll come back, and I'll spend some time on talking about Rob Manfred and Mike Trout. When we return, Dwight Covington at 10:25 to talk Furman season tickets. We'll be back in just a moment.
Holding, number 79, defense, first down. I'm also holding a party tonight.
Great call by the official. Looks like we've got another flag on the field.
Holding, a Pepsi. Necessary refreshment.
Hey, Ted, bring some of that Pepsi to my party.
Pepsi and the NFL. Welcome to the Fun Doesn't End Zone.
When the Furman baseball team goes on the road, it travels safely, comfortably, and with the latest technology with Jeans Tours and Charters. Jeans has been a Furman favorite for decades and has serviced Furman baseball for over 20 years. Take it from head coach Brett Harker. Book your next road trip with Jeans. Jeans Tours and Charters, online at jeansbussvc.com or call 864-242-1673. Jeans Tours and Charters, servicing the upstate since 1980.
If you've been sidelined by an injury, the St. Francis Sports Medicine team is here 24/7 to get you back on the field. Our highly trained network of physicians, athletic trainers, and physical therapists treat all types of sports-related injuries, even those that don't occur from playing a sport. Call the St. Francis Hurt Line at 675-HURT for priority appointments or at-home advice. Again, that's 675-HURT.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
Well, you got to love these Furman guys who don't get a lot of airtime because you tell them, hey, 10:25, and they come chomping at the bit. Although I shouldn't say that about Connor Shaw. Last week it was the same thing. He was scheduled for 10:25, and he walked in the door right as the show started. I go to commercial break. Dwight Covington, who's scheduled for 10:25, he walks in the door. So Rob Manfred versus Mike Trout can wait a little while until the next segment or two, and we welcome you back to the program. And our good friend Dwight Covington is in here to hawk some tickets. How you doing, man?
I am excellent, Dan. I am just fantastic. It's great to be on with you and watch the show last week and was so impressed. I'm sitting there watching Connor Shaw and talking about his coaching experience here and just his athletic experience and the great folks that we're attracting to come here to be coaches and athletes is just fantastic. And broadcasters. I'll throw that in there, too. How about that?
Read it just like I put it on the screen.
Exactly
hey,
right.
Pull your microphone up just a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. We want people to hear what you have to say. Been a little bit of a busy time for you, I would imagine, right now, huh? A little excitement?
Very much. Very excited. I want to lead off first by just mentioning to you and our fans out there that one of our favorite season ticket holders and friends of the Paladins passed away suddenly yesterday, Hayden Hayes. And Hayden was a great friend of mine and to the Paladins and the Furman University. Was a football coach here for a number of years and then went into the insurance business, was very successful. And when I came here, he and Dan Joyner and Dave Ellison were my kind of lead trustees to take me out into the community and introduce me to Greenville and the upstate. And they all did a great job. And we certainly miss Dan Joyner, who's been gone for several years now. And you have to say goodbye to folks every once in a while in this life. And it's just I don't want to throw a damper, but we're going to miss Hayden a lot. He was a great guy.
Well, when you work at a school, when you become involved with a school like you have for so many years, you run across so many people. And when you're a smaller school, I mean, it happens to a certain degree at a larger school. When you're a smaller school, there's so much more of that family feeling to it. And you get to know a good number of your fans more intimately than you would if you worked at a larger school. And I can say that from experience for the 7 years I spent on the air at Clemson. I got to know a good number of people over there, obviously. But coming over here, smaller school, a little more intimate, you get to know them and know them maybe a little deeper, a little better. So I think people understand what you're talking about there. It's not putting a damper on as much as it is just kind of celebrating the type of relationship that you had.
Yes, absolutely. And our best wishes and prayers are with his family and friends, and we will certainly miss Hayden. Absolutely, you're exactly right. It's just a great experience, the Furman family, and all the phone calls I get. I mean, I get a lot of phone calls on my cell phone because I have that out there. Want folks to call me on my cell phone, and to talk about tickets or the Paladins. But this really is an exciting time in Furman athletics. You look at the team that Mike Buddy has put together and continues to put together, and all the things that are being done around football, basketball, all of our athletic teams, and Furman University as a whole with the Furman Advantage. It is a very, very exciting time. And, yeah, we're selling a few tickets for football and soccer and everything else, and having a fun time doing it.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that as some of the options you have coming up here in just a moment. But as I was saying a moment ago, leading into the commercial break, yeah, there you go, the old Diamond F on the cup. I had one, but I last year I left the cup at Fleur Field after one of our Furman baseball games up there. And,
Did it grow legs?
And mysteriously it grew legs and went away. So
somebody's riding to work and from downtown Greenville, from upstate here, saying, God bless that person that left me that elf that left me that cup.
Exactly. It was one of those big ones too. One of the black, real sleek black ones with the purple and white diamond.
Those grow legs really quick.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But anyway, as I was saying, leading into the commercial break, you have to call it like it is. And I think in a lot of ways, maybe you had, if not the toughest job on campus for a lot of years going back, but one of the toughest jobs, selling tickets to a fan base that was getting more apathetic about the product that was being put on the field. And the one thing that has changed here, as I said a moment ago, from the top down, from the president of the university to the people who sweep out the stadium after the game is done, that sense of apathy is gone. There's a sense of immediacy. There's a sense of almost urgency. Clay Hendricks knew that he had a rebuilding project, but he expected to win when he came in his first year, and by golly, he did it.
Absolutely.
And that has set up some very high expectations for 2018. Maybe in some cases a little too high, but that's the way it goes. We saw last year, Dwight, and you witnessed it firsthand, a fan base go through an 0-4 start to, man, this is going to take forever to turn around, to 4 games later saying, if we don't make the playoffs, this is a disappointing season.
That's right.
That's how quickly things turned.
That's right. And we came right out of the gate, went over to Wofford, and came within a whisker of beating a ranked Terriers team right out of the box, and that woke everybody up. And we took a good crowd over there, and then took a good crowd back on that in the second round of the playoffs. A fantastic crowd, and a lot of those fans now are stepping up, buying season tickets or buying packages to be in Paladin Stadium and at the foot of Paris Mountain, as we are right now. Yeah.
So tell us early on how our ticket sales going.
We started very early. We started in February renewing season tickets, and that's gone very well. Our fans have really accepted that. We got more and more fans that are buying online, which is it helps us reach more people, and we really appreciate them doing that. And my box office has done just a fabulous job this year. We're way ahead this time than we were last year. We're double the number of people that we've renewed, and we've sold more season tickets. And we're really right at just under 2 months away from kicking it off at home. So I've got a 2-month window to continue to work to fill the stadium for those 5 ball games coming up. And we've got a great schedule. The Colgate game was a game that really kind of started that turnaround last year after the 4 tough games that we started out with. And so I look forward to hosting the Raiders as they come into Paladin Stadium. Their director of alumni contacted me yesterday, as a matter of fact, and they're bringing a nice tailgate, and they've got a lot of alumni in this area. When they came before, they had a nice crowd over there, and also had a football player, I think, that sat in the president's box, and he was over 100 years old. He was the oldest living. I hope he's still around. I hope he can come back. That's been a while back. That was in the Chris Forcier's first year here. So I hope that youngster can come back and have a good time, because very few people die after age 100. I'll be here all day.
Yeah.
Couldn't resist that.
Yeah.
Couldn't resist. But I'm excited about that. I'm excited about our other ticket packages. I'll mention them real quick for the fall. Soccer, we started out with a bang there. We've got a offering which is a combined season ticket for both men and women's, $30, and you also get this cool scarf that when you put it together, the classic soccer scarf. On the back it says "FU all the time." In the front, the Paladin knight's head is on either side, and when you put it together, it makes the right side and the left side, and put it together, it makes the whole knight's head. It's a really cool design that our marketing department came up with. And we've sold a number of those where 2 years ago we had not sold any season tickets. Last year we had a good bit of success with some packages we put together, and so this one's been a success, and we've still got some left to go. It's a limited edition soccer scarf, so fans, if you want it, get it now. Volleyball, the same thing. We'll have a cool-looking T-shirt, and we're selling those season tickets for $40. Michelle Young coming back, I think, with a very, very strong team, and they're getting ready to lay down, I think, the new floor over in Alley Gym. That's, if our fans haven't seen that, there's a total remake of the front of Alley Gym over there with a ticket office, a concession stand, much-needed bathrooms for that arena, because we put folks in there, have a nice crowd in there, and so that's going to enhance the fan experience there. Very excited about that. Again, goes back to the leadership of Mike Buddy and Caroline Kingsdorf and our leadership team, who have just infused this athletic department and this university with a lot of excitement about athletics.
Well, and the proof is in the proverbial pudding. Just a couple of weeks ago, Hunter Reed's office released the story that Furman had its highest finish ever in the Learfield Cup, which, if you're not familiar with that, it's points awarded for how your teams finish inside their conference play, and you finish first place, you get X number of points, and second, and all the way down the line. As an FCS football school and Division I and upper division, obviously, and everything else, because there is no FCS in the other sports, but obviously a smaller school, finished 73rd in the country out of 350 Division I schools.
Yes, and you look at some of the people we're not only competing with there, but matching up with. It's an impressive finish for the Paladins, and I see us doing nothing but moving up in that contest. Absolutely.
Well, because you have to. There's no going back down.
That's right. You can't go back down. That's exactly right.
Yeah, people start questioning you then. This is Dwight Covington. He is the chief cook and bottle washer in the ticket sales department. There's also, I think, an AD, associate AD on your name or something like that.
A director is tied on to me. I don't know if the AD's ever been added. And, I always say, you can call me what you want to call me. Just let me sell the tickets.
Just call you, right?
Just call me. Just call me. Well, I want to mention football, too. Mm-hmm. This is, for the fans, this is the sample, and it's been very well received. Each season ticket that people buy, you will get a replica Coach Hendricks hat. And got the Diamond F on there. Very pretty. We did a purple one about 3 years ago. It was very well received. And so I bought a bunch of these. Very high quality. And
it's got the Velcro adjustable back.
Yep. So one size fits everybody.
It's like a 1950s television commercial.
There you go. Absolutely. and it's got Furman Paladins on the back. But these are great. Each fan will get them. You'll be able to pick them up at the Colgate game. So season ticket holders and potential season ticket holders, great fan premium that you get when you walk in the door. And then go find out if Clay Hendricks will sign it for you, because it's modeled after that white hat the good guys like to wear on the sidelines.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about football season ticket opportunities. I flashed a little graphic earlier. And if you're looking for a reason, if you're looking for an affordable option to see some really, really good college football on Saturday afternoons, let's start with this bad boy. You can get season tickets starting at $65.
Yes.
Now, find a deal that beats that.
That's right. Well, that is our 3-game pack.
Yes.
That's our 3-game pack, and it's the homecoming family weekend. I call it the dogs and cats. Homecoming and family weekend, and the Wofford game. So you got the Western Carolina Catamounts and the Terriers from Wofford, and also the Bulldogs from Sanford. There, so our dogs and cats package, all for $65. You're right; it can't beat that deal at all. And then you go up from there. You go up to $75. You got the whole season, and those are in sections 1 and 5. And then our other season tickets are $100. In chairback, and then if you want to dial it up a little bit more, $135 in the purple seats, and the stadium seats are just right down here below us, and those do include a Paladin Club donation, and we can work those out. We can get that done for you, and also you can pay it over time now. You don't have to pay it all at once. We can schedule payments for you for football tickets, and also you can join the Paladin Club on a bank draft basis and pledge, and we can get you in there for a nice dollar amount and be very, very accommodating to your wallet. And we're very inexpensive too. So
yeah, I mean, when you just look at the most expensive season ticket that we have here at Furman, as Dwight just said, was $35. You can get the 3-game package for $65 a ticket. I think that's more than reasonable for Furman. And we need to fill this place up. We saw at the end of last year how the atmosphere really changes when you get 10,000 plus. The stadium holds 16,000. When you can get over 10,000 in it, then the atmosphere really, really changes here.
It does. It ramps up. Our players just feed off of it. Our coaches feed off of it. So it just adds to the whole overall just fantastic experience. Sitting here in probably one of the prettiest views in the country, without a doubt, and one of the few teams that have a knight on a horse or an animal that charges out onto the field. A 2,000-pound charger, the Fury, with Sir Paladin on his back, that always delights the crowd, and so it's a unique experience, and it's also a very family-friendly, fun atmosphere, and it's easy in and out. It's not like you're going to a NASCAR race, and so for the fans and the friends out there in the Greenville and the Upstate, this is a great place to bring your family. Feel very safe and have a great time watching Division I college football, no doubt. Now, I'll mention one other thing. You know, we've had this fan experience on the field, the Paladin Hospitality VIP tent. We're now selling that for season tickets, and we have sold some. That is an all-you-can-eat and drink experience, fans, that you don't want to miss. You want to do it. You can buy it for $40 online for a game, or $175, and also we take in groups or companies who want to come. We have group prices at $30, but it's all you can eat and drink. The food is fabulous. Ingles Catering is a great sponsor. They do a fabulous job with that down there, Dan. And then Thomas Creek beer and the Trone. I started to call them the Trone wine, but Total Wine that's owned by the Trones provides the beer and wine. It's a fabulous, fabulous event, and it's well worth the price. Fans should take advantage of it.
Yeah, and for those of you who have never experienced that and don't know exactly what he's talking about, it is maybe the rarest of opportunities to spend the entire game on the field. Now, not on the playing field, but there is a huge, huge area between the back of the end zone that's on my right as we're looking at it, between there and the scoreboard, and that's the area that we're talking about here. So you get to spend the entire game on the field in the huge tent, watching the action, hearing the knocking, seeing the sweat and the slobber fly, and all you can eat and drink for $40.
Yeah, it's a fabulous experience. You got to try it once. You try it once, you'll say, "I'm doing this every game." All our fans.
Yeah, that's $40 for an individual game.
That's right. And
by the way,
and let me mention this: the VMI game. Antonio Wilcox goes trotting into the end zone. He runs all the way into the fan area there, into the VIP area, and he hands the ball to one of our fans. Well, that guy rears back and spikes that ball, and the referee's standing right there like this, and I thought, I don't know, is that a penalty? And the look on his face was, I don't know, but he didn't pull his flag out. So we actually had a fan that got to spike the ball after a touchdown. That was really cool.
Yeah, Antonio was good about that. There was the other time on the opposite end where the band sits. He scored a touchdown, dropped the ball, and went and directed the band as they were playing the school song celebrating his touchdown.
He was into the fan experience, isn't he?
He definitely was. Hey, what are we doing on campus to work on the student engagement?
I can tell you a bunch about that. Not only is our marketing department, Alex Loeb and Ben Matthew, do a lot to get the students out. They're going to be in the dorms a lot more, putting up schedule magnets on every dorm door, and also posters in the lobbies. They're doing some other kind of cool graphics in some of the common areas. So to really make the students aware, and then they're talking about doing several other type of fan experience with our students when they get back. And one of the student leaders contacted me the other day. We talked about doing this last year, but we're going to do it this year. And that is we're going to allow student organizations, we already got permission to do this, student organizations and fraternities and sororities to pick a bench down in the student area and paint it with their colors and logo. And so they can own the bench. And I got this idea from Western Carolina. They've got a big section for the students there. And I said, that's perfect. And when we told the students about it, they said, we want to do that. And with that, and then also the tailgating that we encourage, I mean, I will say this, we've probably gotten a little bit too good at tailgating because our fans really like to tailgate. And with all the stuff that's going on on Paladin Green, they get out there and having a good time. We have to kind of go out there and remind them, hey, come on in. But our students come in.
Or come back after halftime.
That's right, come back because we have a pass-out rule, so that's exactly right. Yeah.
The other thing that I will mention is that twice this year, the Clay Hendricks Show, which will be housed at Shortfields again, but twice this year we're actually going to do it from the dining hall.
Excellent, fantastic.
Which will be in the height of dinner time. The show will run between 6 and 7 p.m. So we're going to do it in the dining hall in the midst of all of those students. So hopefully that's going to help with the fan engagement and people be able to hear from the coach right there if they're not listening to his show on a normal basis. They'll be able to see the coach, meet him, listen to his comments, and hopefully that's going to help the engagement anyway. Because, again, as we've seen, you think about it mostly in basketball, but I go back a few years to the last conference championship in 2013 when we beat Wofford here to clinch a share of it, and the difference that the students made right down here in this section to the left of where we're sitting, which is the student section. It was packed, and they stayed engaged. Again, you think about it more in basketball, but in a more of an intimate setting like we have here, man, they can make a difference.
They really can. Matter of fact, the name of the kind of marketing theme for that week. We put out a number of stand-up signs in the dining hall and in front of the library, and they were posters we had made that said the students will make the difference. And we had pictures of players and whatever, but we said you are going to make the difference, and you're exactly right, Dan. They do, because they get excited, they get jacked up, and we appreciate them coming out. I do defend our students. We ask a lot of them, and we've got a small student body. I mean, they come out and support. They love soccer. They love getting in volleyball and rebel rousing it up, and in basketball we've seen a nice uptick there too, particularly when we have the Terriers come to town. That team just seems to attract a few folks.
The one thing that bothers me, and it's something that we're working on, is kind of what I referenced a moment ago, and I think it's more amongst the student population than anything, is when halftime comes, they leave and they don't come back. We need to keep them engaged for 4 quarters,
yes.
Especially in games that matter, that are going to come down to the wire. They've got to be here and be invested in it, and it's all a process.
It is.
It's all a process, and it's a process that is continuing to move forward.
And it's I will say this too. Other schools, Clemson, just there's a big article in the newspaper here about the Clemson students. They even at Clemson, with all the success they've had, you've seen a shift in the population. This younger generation who have grown up with phones and everything else, where streaming is very common, and so they can go fishing or go whatever and still watch the game on their phone. That's a challenge that we continue to have to address, and I think all teams are, NFL on down, and NBA, of how do you make it more engaging and getting the fans and getting the folks in the seats to be here to watch Paladins play when they can watch it very easily on streaming or listen to the call of the voice of the Paladins.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want to bring your radio to the game. You can listen to it home and on the road in the stands.
That's it. There you go.
And as I tell people during baseball all the time, often you get a double header. The one you're watching and the one I'm calling. So, and we all have those nights.
Yeah.
All right, so again, I'll flash this graphic. That's the 3-game Dogs and Cats package.
Dogs and Cats,
right?
That's it. That's it. We're going to take them all.
Which brings to mind, by the way, one of my favorite movie quotes of all times, from the original Ghostbusters.
Okay.
When they're in the mayor's office towards the end, and they're talking about everything that's going on and how they can fix it, and the mayor looks at him and says, "What if you're wrong?" And Bill Murray says, "If I'm wrong, nothing happens. We go to jail peacefully, quietly. We'll enjoy it. But if I'm right, and we can stop this thing, Lenny, you will have saved the lives of millions of registered voters. And what precipitated that was right before that scene, it was dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. So that's what we're going to have here at Paladin Stadium. Dogs and cats coming in, mass hysteria. Get your tickets now. I'm going to put the contact information up, Dwight, but tell everybody how they can get in touch with you.
I do appreciate it, Dan. Yeah, they can get in touch with me either via mobile directly to me, 864-607-5148, or email me at Dwight Covington at Furman Paladin or at Furman.edu. We also have a common box office email, which is tickets@Furman.edu, so that can be used also. And then the box office number for Georgie and Sherry over there, who do a fabulous job, Georgie McMakin and Sherry Searles, 864-294-3099, and they can take your order and answer any questions about any of our tickets or ticket packages whatsoever.
And you see Dwight's email there, the box office number he just gave you, and since he said he didn't mind his cell phone number going out, there's his cell phone number on the screen as well.
Pick up the phone and give me a call. Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. Dwight, thank you, man.
Thank you. And one other thing I want to mention, Dan, we are renewing basketball tickets right now. So all of our basketball fans watching, and you're getting your letter today, probably in the mail, and you can go online and do it and renew your tickets right now. Got a fabulous lineup. Our goal is that the Wofford game, I think we will sell that out. It will never go on public sale. Our fans are very excited about basketball, that freshman class that's coming in, and the people that are returning with men's basketball. And Coach Carson with women's basketball is also looking to build a powerhouse, too. There's a lot of excitement going on over at basketball.
Speaking of basketball, these obviously are not home games. But have you gotten a glimpse at our non-conference schedule?
We're playing a few teams folks may have heard of.
Yeah.
That
on the road at national champion Villanova. On the road at Final Four participant Loyola Chicago.
Boy, what a story last year.
Yeah.
The darlings of the tournament.
And then we're going to visit our old Southern Conference friend, Will Wade, now the head coach at LSU.
Yeah, I mean, it is a tough schedule that Bob has put together, and a challenging schedule, my goodness. And then you got to come back and run through the Southern Conference twice.
Yeah.
Woo! That's a challenge for that young basketball team. It's going to be exciting.
It is. We're looking forward to it. So if you're a season ticket holder for basketball, as Dwight said, you're going to be getting your renewals letters in the mail. Look, it's an exciting time to be a part of Furman University Athletics. As we said, with the success overall, this athletic program, you want to get involved, and getting your butt in a seat in the stadium or in the arena is the best way that you can do it.
We want you here.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
my friend.
Thank you, Dan, as always.
That is Dwight Covington. We'll be back with more and going to shift the gears and talk some baseball coming up here in just a bit. Dan Scott Show brought to you by our friends at Carolina Creative returns in just a moment.
Hey, Furman fans, it's baseball season. Here at Ingalls, we know that as you root for the home team, sometimes you want more than just peanuts and Cracker Jack. And while we do deliver on your favorite ballpark classics, we're proud to offer a packed lineup of everything you need to make your next meal a home run. Ingalls, a proud sponsor of Furman Baseball and the official grocery store of Furman Athletics. Go Dins!
Life's healthier when you're backed by a Greenville Health System primary care doctor. Because then, the doctor that has your back is backed by the more than 1,000 physicians and specialists at the region's leading health system, all working together to bring you the right care in the right place at the right time. Great health starts with a GHS primary care doctor, and there are more than 200 of them conveniently located throughout the upstate, ready to see you. Find yours today at ghs.org/mydoctor.
Zaxby's food has always brought people together, catering to the big moments, the little wins, the long talks, and the quick getaways. Because food this inviting is bound to add a lot of flavor to your life.
Introducing the Zax Pack. Served with chicken fingers, sides, Texas toast, and iced tea. Pick one up for dinner or your next event. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
I was surprised recently when I learned that Americans spend $80 billion a year on illegal sports gambling. Sure, that's spread out over millions of gamblers, but still it makes you wonder where that money's coming from. Unfortunately, too often it's coming from money that was intended to buy groceries, pay the mortgage, or even put children through college. If gambling's had a negative impact on your life, call the SC Gambling Hotline toll-free at 877-452-5155. Help is confidential and available 24 hours a day. A message from the South Carolina Department of Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse Services.
If four spinning objects can grip thin air, then four spinning objects can grip solid Earth. The Maserati Ghibli, with available Q4 intelligent all-wheel drive. The Maserati Ghibli. From $70,600. Experience Maserati now.
Since the 1950s, upstate residents from all over have come to Stack's Original. It's simple. Stack serves the best Southern-style down-home cooking in the area. Whether you're looking for a healthy breakfast, delicious lunch, or a relaxing dinner, Stack's has it all. Every Sunday after church, enjoy a great lunch with your family, including country-style steak, fried chicken, baked ham, and much, much more, plus a huge selection of side vegetables. It's easy to see why Stack's is the Greenville tradition. Call about our catering services for your next event. Stack's Original, 1704 Poinsett Highway, Greenville.
Bad thing about getting a salesman in here and give him a chair, he doesn't want to leave. He wants to keep selling even after his time is done. We love Dwight Covington. Good to have you back with us here on the program. I am Dan Scott. I want to tell you about a couple of new people who have joined us. Once we get going on the daily show, you're going to be hearing about them all the time. Our friends, first of all, at Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca, South Carolina. You see the logo there. If you're looking for the perfect frame for that special photo or painting, they can do it, and they can handle picture framing for every budget, and every single job is custom. They also sell work from local artists as well as locally themed gifts. That is Custom Corners Frame Shop. My good friend Trevor Lay owns that. You can see the contact info there on your screen, located in Seneca. And then also, welcome to Premier Auto Group, Premier Auto Motivations, I should say. If your credit has been dinged up a little bit and you're looking to get not just a reliable car, but a really nice, affordable late model car, then contact Sherry at Premier Auto. Again, you see her contact info on the screen, and she can get you on the road and help get your credit on the road to recovery, serving all of the upstate Premier Auto Motivations, and you see the info there on the screen. You'll be hearing a lot more about those folks as we continue pressing forward with the show. I almost hesitate to do this, and if you know the guy I'm about to bring on, you know why, but I give him a hard time only because he deserves it. But he's former Paladin right-hander and my good buddy, living the high life in New York City right now, Stephen Fondue. What's going on, Fondue?
It's great. It's great. It's good to be back on the show. I miss you, Dan. I miss the South. I miss Greenville.
Well, watching your Twitter feed, it doesn't seem like you miss the South all that much. It seems like you're jacked to be in New York City.
Yeah, it's the extremes of both worlds. You know, I'm walking on 66th Street right now, around about 400 people, but I could definitely be sitting at Latham Stadium right now and watching a ball game if they were still playing.
Has that effect on you, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It's the extremes of both worlds, and I'm grateful and lucky enough to have experienced both of those.
Oh, catch everybody up on how things are going for you right now.
They're good. They're good. I just started a new position as a sales assistant at Fox Television. It's mostly actually dealing with Fox Sports. So I do a lot of advertising sales and commercial sales for things like the World Cup and the All-Star game we just had on Fox as well. So I've been very busy, but I just told my boss that I was running out to do a interview with a good friend of mine from college, and he said, "Well, as long as you're on broadcast and you're on television, that's basically training." So he was okay with it.
Yeah, it's a billable moment, if nothing else. So you wanted to talk some baseball. What's on your mind?
I don't know. I was thinking about. I don't know too much information actually about the whole Mike Trout and Rob Manfred thing that you were talking about.
Well, let me enlighten you a little bit, because I actually have had the quotes up on pulling up on the screen here. For those who are maybe a little unfamiliar, Mike Trout is the best all-around player in the game of baseball, and has done some things already by age 26 that only a guy like Babe Ruth has accomplished. I mean, that is the that's the scope of what Mike Trout has laid down at this juncture of his career. He plays on the West Coast with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of Orange County, of Redondo Beach. So largely people in this part of the country don't get to see a lot of what he does in prime time because of the time difference. And to that end, Rob Manfred had some comments in USA Today just a couple of days ago. Here's what he said. You can see it on the screen for those of you who are watching. Quote, "Player marketing requires one thing for sure, the player. You cannot market a player passively. You can't market anything passively. You need people to engage with those to whom you're trying to market in order to have effective marketing. We are very interested in having our players more engaged and having higher profile players and helping our players develop their individual brand. But that involves the player being actively engaged." Manfred went on to say, quote, "Mike's a great player and a really nice person, but he's made certain decisions about what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do, and how he wants to spend his free time and how he doesn't want to spend his free time. That's up to him. If he wants to engage and be more active in that area, I think we could help make his brand really, really big. But he has to make a decision that he's prepared to engage in that area. It takes time and effort," unquote. That was what Rob Manfred had to say. And it's a truth without question, but it's come across as something of a criticism to the point that the Angels put out a statement in their eyes defending Mike Trout and everything that he does for them, including his work in the community, his engagement with fans, his visiting hospitals, and all of the things he does. Look, Mike Trout is widely considered not only the best player in Major League Baseball, but easily the most humble superstar in probably all of sports. And he chooses not to be like LeBron James and do that kind of self-marketing and self-promotion. And I'm okay with that if that's his choice. Major League Baseball still has ways of taking advantage, Stephen, of who he is without having him become a shill for every product and making himself a quote-unquote brand like LeBron James or other superstars have done. I think the game has bigger fish to fry than worrying about Mike Trout's brand. Ha! That was a pun, and I didn't even intend it.
No, I mean, listen, like you said, I understand where Rob Manfred is coming from. At the end of the day, you know, it's his job and it is a business. But also, like you said, he's going after a guy like Mike Trout, who, when it comes to the game of baseball, nobody that I could think of besides the one and only great Derek Jeter plays the game the right way and respects the game to the absolute highest point. And if he doesn't particularly feel that he has to be the LeBron James of standing in front of the media every single day, then first of all, it's his God-given right to not do that. But he does it in other ways, like you said. I mean, he is known to be the guy that is the last one on the field signing autographs. He's known to be the guy that's the first one on the field signing autographs with kids. He's from, where's he from again? I can't think. He's from Jersey? I believe he's from a small town in Jersey or something like that. But he comes from a nothing small little town, and he's known to go back and start up high schools and give back to the children and give back to the athletes. from his high school and this and that. So if it's his option to do it that way and not like LeBron James does and stand on the feet of other people. I mean, LeBron's the guy who there's no doubting that he's one of, if not the greatest athlete to maybe ever live. But if he wants to stand on the hill of Capitol Hill and talk about politics, then that's his right, and it's fine, so be it. But if Mike Trout doesn't want to do that, you can't come out and say that that's what he has to do, you know?
Well, and you mentioned Derek Jeter, who I agree with you, played the game the way it was supposed to be played, but Derek Jeter was also a very smoothly marketed and crafted brand. Part of that comes from playing in New York City, maybe as opposed to Anaheim, and also the willingness of what Jeter was willing to do compared to what maybe Mike Trout is willing to do. But from my standpoint, you know, Major League Baseball should be celebrating guys like Mike Trout doing what they're doing, and baseball has a bigger issue when it comes to marketing itself than developing the brand, quote unquote, of a player like Mike Trout. But Major League Baseball has an issue that right now, when the postseason rolls around, there's a good portion of the future fan base that doesn't get to watch the games, especially the World Series, because of the late starting time on the East Coast. And yet because, and this is going to hit you where you work now, Stephen, I'm sorry, but because television dictates the starting times, kids are, you know, when a baseball game first pitches at 8:30 in October, younger kids are not going to be up watching that game to its completion, and they're missing the greatest stage that baseball has to offer, and these are the future fans, and even a lot of the older fans can't stay up until midnight or after anymore to watch baseball games. I just think that there are a lot, and that's just one issue. I think there are a lot of issues Major League Baseball could work on when it comes to its own brand, as opposed to Rob Manfred kind of calling out Mike Trout. Whether he intended on that or not, that's the way it came across.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I actually agree with you as well. As a working man now, I can't even stay up and watch Sunday night baseball when it starts at 8, 9 o'clock, whatever it does. And like you said, I mean, baseball is just like other sports, but you know, I'm going to be biased in a way here. Say baseball is a sport that you sit at home and you watch on the couch with your father, and you BS about it. And you can't do that when games are starting at 8:30 because you got a 10-year-old kid that has to get up for school next day, and by the time the game's over, it's already midnight. So I think there's a lot of things that baseball needs to do, that television needs to do, that are much more important than a guy like Rob Manfred coming after the face of Major League Baseball, especially when the face of Major League Baseball is the most humble and well-respected guy, not just from the fans, but also from the players themselves. I mean, I was watching the All-Star game yesterday, and I actually loved how they put microphones in the players' ears during the game. And you could almost just hear it in his voice. You know, he loves the game of baseball, and all he wants to do is play it the right way, and that's what he does. And if that means he doesn't have to get in front of a camera and boast about his personal, marketing of himself, then that's his choice. And it's not like he's playing the game the wrong way and not doing that, because then, maybe he should do something right. But he's the most well-respected guy in baseball. He's the greatest player in baseball. I hope to see him in pinstripes someday, because he is known to be a big-time Yankee fan. But I think our outfield right now is pretty set. But, yeah, I think it's just a little ridiculous. And I think sometimes sports, unfortunately, are, everything in this world is a business in a way, and it's about money. And I think this is Manfred just doing something as if it were a business instead of it actually being about the game itself.
Well, and from his standpoint, it largely is a business. And again, I try to put myself in his shoes and understand where he's coming from, and I don't think that he really meant to attack Mike Trout. I think what he was saying is, man, we wish that this guy would be more open to marketing himself and developing a brand then that we, Major League Baseball, could lift up and push and help him do that. But my argument is that Major League Baseball can push Mike Trout, whether Mike Trout wants to brand himself or not. You know, it doesn't matter how many endorsements Mike Trout chooses to do, how many endorsement offers he chooses to accept. Major League Baseball can promote Mike Trout on its own, whether Mike Trout has this LeBron James-esque brand or not. And I think that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think, I just thought about this, you know, yeah, he's been in the league for a little bit, but like you said, he's only 26 years old. You know, Derek Jeter, yes, he is already the name of baseball and the face of baseball, but he's got another 10 years he's got another 10 all-star seasons in him. It's not like this isn't coming yet. He hasn't signed his massive big contract yet. You know, these guys are smart. They're not silly. Yeah, they might be athletes, but they still got a brain. And maybe he's just waiting for his time to really shine. And, you know, you see guys like LeBron. LeBron's what, 35, 36 years old. Jeter maybe did it a little younger, but he was still in his 30s too when he started branding himself out there. This guy's only 26 years old. He's 2 years older than me. You know, if I ran a 4.4 and was 230 pounds of muscle and not fat, then I think I would be doing the same exact thing if I were him.
And if you could hit.
Yeah, if I could hit. Well, I couldn't pitch that well either, so I don't really know about it.
Well, I wasn't going there, but since you brought it up, Stephen Fondue, the former Paladin, now a sales executive with Fox Television and chiefly working with Fox Sports, joining us here and talking a little baseball. To Mike Trout's credit, and you have seen statements put out, you know, supposedly coming from players that have obviously been well crafted by the team's media relations department. God bless Mike Trout. This is directly out of his mouth with no crafting by media relations whatsoever. I love the way he worded this. He said this, quote, "I have received lots of questions about Commissioner Manfred's recent statement. I am not a petty guy and would really encourage everyone to just move forward. Everything is cool between the commissioner and myself. End of story. I am ready to just play some baseball."
Exactly. And I mean, if that doesn't, and I bet you right now, he came up with that on his own. He didn't have his agent look at it. He didn't have his wife look at it. That's the type of guy he is. And whether there is something there or not, he doesn't care. He wants to go out and play baseball. And if he's the best player in baseball and he does it the right way, for the time being, you have to allow him to do that. And like you said, I don't think Manfred was coming after him in a way, but I think he could have worded it a little different. But at the end of the day, the guy wants to play baseball, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
And quite honestly, I think that if Major League Baseball was smart, and sometimes there is a question as to whether they are, I think they should market a guy like Mike Trout for exactly who he is, because sports and society in general need more people like that who are humble, who spend their off hours being good husbands, being good fathers. They're good teammates. They're not lightning rods for controversy. They're not seeking to bring attention to themselves. They're guys who come in, they punch the clock, they do the job, they serve the community in which they're involved, and then they go home and they be a great husband and a great father. If you can't market that, then there's something wrong.
Yeah, then you're doing something wrong. Like you said, as much as he loves the game, I bet you he enjoys coming home and seeing his family and his wife and whatever more than anything. And you put it perfectly. You hit the nail on the head. I mean, they need to market who he is. They can't allow – they don't want him. What is he supposed to do? They're supposed to make him market who he's not. You know, they want him to be LeBron James, and people will see right by that. You know, people aren't silly nowadays. They know who he is already. They know how he's played the game and how he's carried himself. So now Manfred expects him to step on a stage and be somebody who he's not. And it could ruin his name. It could ruin who he is. And most importantly, he doesn't want to do that. It's going to take away from the game. He's not doing this. Yeah, the money's fun, this and that. But he's truly playing the game because this is what he wants to do. And he's pretty darn good at it. So why not, like you said, market who he is as a humble, family, God-loving person instead of making him out to be somebody who is not.
With that, I'm going to give you the final word, Fondue, because we have overstayed our welcome, and I've got a meeting to get to downtown at 11:30. Thank you, my friend. Good to hear from you.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Dan. And as always, go Paladins.
All right, buddy. We'll be in touch.
All right, bye-bye.
That is former Paladin Stephen Fondue. God help us all. Hey, also on the sponsor list here, and again, when we get the daily thing cranked up again, you're going to be hearing quite a bit about them. Of course, our great friends at the Atlanta Bread Company, located in Cherrydale Plaza, downtown. Hall's Chop House, or actually Cherrydale Plaza is right here next to campus. Hall's Chop House is downtown. Just incredible steaks, now open for lunch on Fridays and Saturdays. My security guys at Security Complete, I'm telling you, you need to make the switch and have them take over protecting your home and your business and your family. You see the phone number there on the screen. And the Walk a Mile Project, the whamproject.org is the website. Those are all the people right now who are engaged in helping bring you this program in one way or another. And it's headed up by the Carolina Creative Group. Again, carolinacreative.co is their website. If you'd like information about how you can join what we're doing here and becoming part of what is going to be rapidly moving forward and getting a lot more traffic thanks to the new Dan Scott Show website that'll be live in the first few days of August, then just send me a message on Facebook or Twitter or drop me an email, and we will take care of any questions that you have. That's going to wrap it up for us. As I said, I've got a meeting downtown, so I got to get out of here. Back with you next Thursday, and then the plan is, just so you know, is once we get into August and we'll set an official start date, try to have that for you next Thursday, we're going to crank it back up on a daily basis and get things rolling and start previewing what's coming up on an opponent-by-opponent basis for Furman, and looking beyond the walls of Furman University as well at college football in general. Start getting our buddy Billy Davis back on with us. Dave Glenn will be rejoining us in August, so that we'll be getting the band back together again and start cranking it out at 10 a.m. on a daily basis. But next Thursday will be the next show, and we'll have it for you here at 10 o'clock on all of these same platforms. Until then, you folks have a great rest of your day and a fantastic weekend. I'm Dan Scott saying God bless you, and so long, everybody.